Hello, folks, and welcome to the finale of IRC ACC League. It's been an amazing 9 rounds, and I can tell you that the coordinators as well as drivers has put on a splendid show for us for the inaugural season of IRC ACC League, and I must say, as one of the team members, although I'm not part of the ACC League, I feel extremely proud to be part of IIC collectively, and of course, the highlight of the week, we have hit 500 members on our Discord server. So today, I'm joined by Tanish, who's of course our Tier 2 champion from the F1 season. And Tanish, what's your expectations for today's race? And of course, let's not forget, you must be also in a jolly mood given that we have seen IRC grow.
First of all, hello everyone. Like, I'm already too much excited to see action on track. Like, come on, man, it's Monza, my favorite track. It's the home place for Ferrari. And
Yeah,
Temple of Speed, you can expect a lot of battles.
I was gonna say that I was gonna say that since you're a Ferrari fan, Monza would be doubly important for you, and you said it. You said it out of your own mouth.
Yes, for sure. And I would be hoping for a Ferrari one to here.
Yep. And our drivers have started qualifying, but before we go on to qualifying, let's see a blistering lap from our current championship leader, Ghost.
Okay.
Hello, my name is Babaji, and I'm here to present you a hot lap around Monza by our very own Ghost. As you see him here now blasting down the main straight, it's important to focus on your braking point here and brake in a straight line, 150 meters, braking in a straight line, using all the curves needed to maximize your exit, focusing on that exit, getting the power down as early as possible. Now head on to Curva Grande. Curva Grande is a very tricky corner. You want to keep it tight initially, but you want to let the car flow wide so that you don't scrub off too much speed on the steering lock. As we head on to Del Roggio now, very tricky corner, spot your braking point, 120 meters, brake in a straight line, use as much as curve as needed, but focus on that exit, don't let your car drive wide on the gravel. As we head down to the approach of the Lesmos now, you got a late apex this, make sure the car drives wide and you maximize your speed, because the circuit is entirely about traction. Same goes for Lesmo too, clip the apex, get on the power as early as possible. The entire circuit composites of how early you get the power on and how much stable you can keep your car. That goes for the same for the Ascari section. As you want to brake in a straight line at 100 meters, use all the curves to make sure the power is getting down as much as possible. For the straight which leads onto Parabolica, you want to get as much top speed as possible. Now as we approach Parabolica now, very difficult corner, easy to understeer into it, easy to overshoot it. So focus on your braking point, 100 meters, brake in a straight line, early apex this, keep it tight, make sure you don't drive wide initially. As soon as the car's turned in, get on the power and let the car drive wide so that you can make as much as speed as possible. And that completes a hot lap around Monza.
What a blistering that lap was set by Ghost, and of course, which was graciously commented. The commentary was provided by our very own Babaji, and I must say that was an astonishing lap. There wasn't really much time left on the table, and Ghost did try to do his best. And now, as we can see, the drivers are already out in qualifying. We have 11 minutes and 40 seconds left on the clock, and I believe a couple of drivers have already set their times. And as you can see, yeah, so far nobody has set their times, and currently I believe they're starting with quite a high load of fuel, and they're now doing multiple laps, letting that fuel run down and setting their hot laps. So Tanish,
Yes.
how do you feel? How does it look like?
I literally am more excited about the track more than the cars because literally I am a very big Ferrari fan and I don't think anything else in front of Ferrari. If there's anything, either it's a Ferrari car, it's a Ferrari home place, it's a Monza, Temple of Speed, anything.
Yep.
But Ferrari.
Speaking of Ferrari, we do have 3 drivers driving the Ferrari, so it'll be interesting to see where they qualify.
Yes. Oh, I think he messed up his breaking point, Sundar.
Yep. Oh, and he does a very good impersonation of Sebastian Vettel.
Yes, he wanted to recreate it, Sebastian Vettel.
Yep. We have Gautam. I think he has gotten 2 pole positions so far in the season. And before we jump into qualifying, I do believe that Ghost has sealed the constructors, drivers championship in the last race. So congrats to him.
Yeah, congratulations to Ghost. I mean, I believe he was really consistent throughout the season, throughout the 9 races.
Yep. And let's see if I can find him. Yep. And there we have in a different livery than usual. I think that's the first time he's sporting that livery. Less saffron, more grey and green. Actually, less green, but more grey. And I'm interested to see what he'll put, how he'll perform in today's race. Will he do a Hamilton and seal the championship in fairy glory?
I think he's trying something different with his livery. Like he's trying something special, but in a different way. Ferrari is famous for his red, but he's trying with something grey color, something related to grey.
Yeah, it's definitely quite an interesting livery. And as we see them come out of the Ascari chicane onto Parabolic Cup. And yep, and we have Kapil Bharat right now. I think he is on his first hot lap because he has so far not set a time. And he is sporting a very interesting livery as he nearly loses the rear and out of Parabolic Cup. Now coming across the line.
So bright from this cam.
Yep. It is definitely making the what do you call, standing out on the black tarmac.
Yes, for sure.
Yep, and we have Amit Kuti returning. He has not been a consistent in terms of attendance, but whenever he has attended the race, that race has been interesting.
Yes. Amit Kuti would really love that comment. Sure.
And we have. I want to talk about some of the drivers who have shown tremendous improvement over the season. And one driver I want to talk about is KC66. And because I remember that when we started the season, he was around a second off. But now looking at the current time, he's just 5 tenths off, and potentially with more improvement with more time in the bank. So
This is what happens when you become consistent and practice harder.
Yep. I mean, no matter which game you play, like at the end of the day, like it's about the effort you put in that matters.
Yes, for sure.
Yep.
I mean, we can currently see, like, he's currently on the top 3.
Yep.
Like, most of the drivers have set the time yet, and he's on the top 3. I
Yep,
believe I'm very much close to. Okay, I think Tyagi went to second now.
Yeah, he has been. I wouldn't call it dark horse per se. Well, and speaking of dark horse, he is driving a dark McLaren. If he was driving a dark Ferrari, the dark horse would have been a perfect fit. But he's driving a McLaren. But for the time being, let's stick with dark horse. I think he joined around Hungary and immediately showed some great pace. But as it stands right now, P2 to P4 is looking feisty.
Yes, for sure.
Did I
But
pronounce it correct?
frankly speaking, no one has currently closed the gap to Ghost. He's still 4 tenths ahead of the second driver.
Yep, and I think I want to Sundar has also been a driver who has shown a lot of promise, but I believe that in a lot of instances, incidents have held him back. I believe it was in Nürburgring where he was on for his first podium finish, and then he unfortunately had an incident which ultimately cost him too much time, and I seem to have given him an instant jinx, as he does have to cut the Variante della Roccia.
Frankly speaking, I can say that Anirudh Sundar is a really fast driver. With my experience battling him in Tier 2, like, he gave me a really hard time to
Oh
be
yeah,
on the top.
I remember that. And speaking of drivers, I just got some news that the Red Devil, he's not able to join Quali yet because his Windows is updating.
Oh, that's very unfortunate. That's very
So
unfortunate. for
he
him.
has 5 minutes. He has around less than 6 minutes to join qualifying, and while others are racing to the line, he's racing to launch the game.
Really.
Yeah.
I hope he joins fast. His updates get done quickly.
Yep. And I believe we did see Sundar improving to P3, but it does look like Banerjee is in a league of his own at the moment.
Yes, for sure. Like,
Yep. And we have
uh,
Kapil Bharat, who's right now on a lap. I wonder what he's up to
I
right now.
think he's getting adapted to the track a bit more, and he'll give us a blistering fast lap in the end.
Yep. Nope, he is not because he has invalidated his lap yet again.
These track limits.
Yeah.
I think nightmare for many drivers.
Yep. People never love that. Yep. And he comes.
Especially when you get invalidation when you're on a very fast lap.
Yep. And
You are more scared of invalidation than crashing, I guess.
I have a, speaking of crashing in Monza, like, I have a, I always, oh, and you say that the Red Devil has actually made it into qualifying, so he has 5 minutes to do a lap, and let's hope he does a lap. I think he did move recently to reserve, and I think he has opted to go for the BMW. And the last time I remember, one driver took the BMW, he had a brake failure, so it'll be an interesting race to watch for him.
But first of all, we are really happy for him that he made it to qualifying. He got the time to set a lap.
Yep. Right. Okay. And speaking of Monza, the highest running Ferrari is right now in P3. Oh, sorry, P7. My bad. But
hope they are
but I do believe that the Ferrari is a bit down on power. If I'm aware of it, I'm not 100% sure, but that's what I've heard.
I'm hoping for a switch card in the race. Like they just blitz the field and just come to top by the end of the race and just show us like who is the beast.
Yep. Let's see. And we have Amit Kuti, who has also joined that party from P2 to P5. And I just realized that this is probably the Bentley's strongest track, because the Bentley is blistering in a straight line, and it's no surprise at all that the Bentley has right now, and of course we can't ignore how consistent Ghost has been, but the Bentley is definitely leaning to his strengths here.
That's a very strong match then. Ghost plus Bentley
Yep.
for this track.
Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting race to watch. Of course, like with the slipstream and all effect coming in, it does become quite a different race, and there are of course cars that can break much deeper into the corners, so it's gonna be an interesting race to watch.
Yes, for sure, for sure. Currently, I think the top three is occupied by a Bentley, a McLaren, and an Audi.
And okay, he was going back to the pits because I suddenly thought he lost it out of the Lesmos. Streeter in a very interesting color there. I think he has been running this livery for quite some time now.
I think it's
Guys.
Lucky Livery.
Yep.
And yes, we are joined by Madhav, our one and only
Hello.
driver, top runner. Hello, Madhav.
Hi, how's it going? I just joined. So what's the story so far?
Great for
Everybody?
Banerjee right now.
It seems like you raced to Monza. Like, judging from your voice.
Yes.
Yep.
Currently, I don't think there's much action. Like, not many people on their hot lap.
Yeah, I mean it's not. See, in ACC, all the time someone's on a hot lap, and they basically like doing one hot lap, cool down, hot lap, cool down, hot lap. So the ACC, the GT3 qualifying experience is quite different compared to, like, I would say F1, where
Open wheel cars.
yeah,
right?
open wheel cars where driver just like bam into a quali lap.
Yes, yes, yes. Frankly speaking, if I talk one of the weaknesses about myself on the Monza track, it's the De La Roggia chicane. The curves. The sausage curves are really dangerous.
Yep,
These are the
for
sausage curves, no? Right? The bumpy curves there.
Yeah, it's over there.
Yes. Those curves are really dangerous and scary.
Yep.
It's the second chicane, right?
Yep,
Yes.
second chicane.
Okay.
And
Go on.
we're right now on board, not on board, we're on with Faizan, who has been a very contentious figure in the league so far, because I did believe he took out the leader twice in 2 consecutive races as he goes for some rally racing into the second Lesmo.
Okay. He was about to lose his car.
Yep. Freeman does improve, but it's not enough, and he does still stay P14.
Do you guys think anyone can displace Ghost from the top spot?
Very unlikely. I think the only driver with the car is definitely KC66. But at the moment, he is sitting quite a far back.
Yes.
I think Amit could be able to put up a fight with him, but
Yeah, but I
just
think
based on the car,
quali is right now sealed because the Bentley seems to have a major straight line advantage right now. And as we say that KC does go P2, and
That was a really good lap.
yep,
That was a
as
really
it
good
stands
lap.
right now, it's a front row lockout for
Bentley.
yep.
I was hoping for a Ferrari again. Okay, I'm saying too much Ferrari now.
Yeah,
Monza is at the first Ferrari. I should not speak that much.
yep.
the
Yeah,
highest Ferrari is in 8th.
yeah. I mean, this is probably one of Ferrari's weakest tracks at the moment,
I mean,
both in GT3 and F1.
Okay, let's not talk about F1 because we know what happened to Ferrari this season.
Yo, and Richie Yan improves to P3.
That was a good lap
that
again.
was
Sundar does not improve as the drivers are now
I
slowing
think
down.
it's quali done then.
Yep. And we have Sarthak Ray who has not set a lap yet, and
That's unfortunate.
as it's I think everyone is in the pits right now at the moment, and sooner or later the drivers would be entering the race.
So, Masum, would you like to let us go through the top 10?
Sure. Let's have a look. So, okay. I think we'll be rushing into the race, but either way. So let's go through the top 7 because I think we are a bit short on time.
For sure.
Yep, and on pole, okay, something has happened because Kapil Bharat is now P1. Now
Wow.
where did that come from? So-
That I think that will remain a mystery until unless Bharat discloses to us.
I suspect that he set the lap quite late. Yep.
I
So right now going through the drivers, Kapil Bharat in the blue AMG, Scarlet Blue AMG in P1. We have Ghost in the grey Bentley. We have K66 in the saffron Bentley once again. Somehow the Bentley front row lockout has been spoiled by the German manufacturer. And Richie Gann in the Lexus in P4, followed by Tyagi in the McLaren representing the British. We have Andrit Sundar in the Audi. Actually, the Audis are right now in P678 with Sundar, Kuti, and Dwaraknath. And the highest running Ferrari, Sidhu in P9, followed by Chatterjee in the BMW, followed by K. Thumala in P11. Jane, one of IRC's founders in P12, Streeter in P13, the dictator of Wadia in P14, and Freeman in P15. Faizan and Ray finished the back row of the grid. Actually, not the back rows because they are now they're actually sitting across 2 grids.
One thing I would like to say, I'm really surprised. Like I'm really surprised by the lap set by Red Devil because he didn't got the time to practice. He joined very late, got only 4 minutes in hand to set a time, and he's on P10. That I mean, it was a really good lap from him.
Yep, for sure.
notice the entire left side is almost complete German cars.
Oh,
That's quite interesting. It's
that was a nice spot.
Yep. Yeah, in the front row is British and Japanese, and the back is
And the
also
Bentley
British.
is also half German because Volkswagen.
Oh, of course.
Currently German ruling overall.
Yep.
Yeah, we can see the chat. A lot of Streeter is like full send into turn 1. Jane is like no heroics into T1. I say full send. Make make people proud.
Make this one special. Make this final race special of this.
It is the temple of speed after all.
Yes, you shouldn't break. You should.
No breaks required.
Click the stamp and send it. Very too much F1 talk.
10 seconds.
Yep.
I think it will be a rolling start if I'm not wrong.
It is.
It is a rolling start.
Okay, now. Is that a small pause there? Okay. Engines are on. Wheels rolling.
And Kapil seems to be not getting on the throttle until the last minute.
Casey quite eager to pass him.
They can't go yet. Only when
Yes.
the leader reaches the
Yep.
line.
Yep. But he's definitely trying to make it tough. He's definitely. Oh, SVC Tyagi ghosting into KC.
Okay, as we approach the start finish line. Okay, okay.
Green light. Go, go, go.
And I think it's green flag. Away we go.
Bharat
I
gets
think
a good.
Kapil got a really good start. Really great start. Ahead of Banerjee. Ahead of Nityan. No, it's Casey. I think he overtook Babaji.
No, but they're actually going side by side into T1 as Banerjee tries to stick it on the inside, but
Oh.
Kapil takes the outside line into T1 but gets inside in T2.
That's
But-
really clean racing from these guys.
But
That's really
right now,
clean.
both it's going to be a battle of power into the Variante della Roggia.
I think Casey's trying to overtake both of them as well. He's
Yep.
getting that slipstream. He's
Yeah,
using it Bentley powered.
Oh, and we have
Oh!
and we have a major incident.
That's really unfortunate for Kapil. That's
Yep.
really
This car
unfortunate.
just seemed to close in on Ghost's Bentley.
Oh,
And he spins
and
again.
yep, and that's definitely not gonna help him. It seemed
That's
like
quite
he seemed like he
unfortunate.
tried to do what Leclerc did to Hamilton in Monza 2019,
Yes.
but it turned out.
But it didn't turn out well.
Yep.
That's quite unfortunate
So,
for him. I mean, he got a really good start, pole position.
Yep. And both the Bentleys right now in P1. Yep, definitely racing. And the McLaren of Tyagi did get past a few cars and is currently running P3, although the game does tell me P5. P4 now. And Sundar in P3, and it seems Sundar and Kuti meet again after their unfortunate get together in Nürburgring.
Yep.
Okay. I think currently Ghost will try to create a gap from Casey so that he doesn't get that slipstream.
True, but it does seem that Coach is already pulling the gap.
I mean, do you guys think is slipstream so much powerful in these cars?
Yeah, it definitely is. Right, these cars are huge, and they would be creating a huge pocket of air in
That's
the
right.
for the car behind.
Yeah, that is true, but it doesn't create that big of an effect as in F1.
No, F1 does have DRS, but as far as you know, like these cars, like the slipstream effect is as strong as DRS itself.
Agree to disagree.
Oh, I think there's action going on between Amit Kuti, Anirudh Sundar, and who's okay? Tyagi, yeah.
Yep. Tyagi seems to be right now. The gap seems to have stabilized. None of the drivers seem to be gaining a lot.
Yes. I mean, I can see how much drivers are trying to push, like they're literally running very wide on that. Let's move on.
Yeah, but I believe if you run too. Oh, and Sundar goes off track
Oh,
and loses position to both Kuti and Dwaraknath. And
that's
Jane
quite
also, and
unfortunate.
Jane as well.
I believe he locked up there and was not able to get the required turn in.
Yep. The BMW looking like a blue whale in comparison to the other drivers.
Yes.
Yeah, the other cars, my bad. Oh, he's going really wide there. I think he wouldn't want to go there too many times. He will get a drive-through.
I think Streeter was starting in the top 10 if I'm not wrong.
I have a feeling he had incidents.
Yes, he's now down to P14.
Yep, as we see these cars coming out of in formation out of Parabolica.
They're
Yeah.
giving us something to show,
Yep.
like something special to show us
We
on the
have
stream.
we have Sundar who seems to be lining up a move on Jane. Will he break that much later? Because they're in the same car, so it's going to boil down to
He
driver
breaks
skill.
it, leaves enough space for the car outside, and that's a great move by him. That's a
Yep,
great
for
move.
sure.
Oh, there's a Ferrari spinning out
Oh,
behind.
oh, there's an incident behind.
It's
Oh, Sidhu
Sidhu seems to
got
have had
into
Sidhu
incident.
himself.
I think it was.
It
was
seems
There's
seems
Bala?
Kaushik.
yep, seems all the Ferraris are right now not off track and not on track.
I hope
Ferrari
it was
Master
not
Black.
by Jinx. Or it was commentators first, because I was literally going for Ferrari.
Of course,
You've cursed Ferrari.
it cost Ferrari great win. Of course, Ferrari does not directly participate in GT3, of course. Back to this pack. Ray we had quite a good couple of laps as he has now come from the back of the grid, and that was an instant jinx from me. But definitely he has come from the back of the grid to PE9 right at the moment.
I think only Porsche has a works team in GT World Series.
Yep,
Rest all are customer teams, I believe.
yep.
I think field is pretty much spread out apart from Aditya Jain and Red Devil.
And as we say that, Tyagi is fighting Casey. I think he did try to make a move on Casey, but Casey managed to keep the position. We go for a move into T1. Of course, the Bentley is supremely quick in a
But we
straight
can see
line.
the
Yep, there's
car behind the McLaren gaining with the help of Slipstream on that Bentley.
Yep, for sure. And
Oh.
Casey does seem to break ever so deeper and keeps that position. And we have Amit Kuti who is now joining that party.
And Tyagi got a really good exit while exiting that chicane.
Yep. And he's gonna go for another move into the Variante della Roggia.
Who's gonna break late?
Casey has the inside.
More superior line there.
Yep. Casey definitely
Yes,
defending well.
same.
And
Yes.
this puts Tyagi in a difficult situation. He has to attack Casey, but he's also falling under attack from Kuti behind.
All the while this battle is happening, it's helping Ghost. He's pulled off 1 second in the space of last few corners.
For sure.
I believe he can literally chill for a few laps now.
Yep.
I don't think there's currently much action going on there on the track.
We literally have two drivers fighting right in front of us. And I'm pretty sure Tyagi is going to go for another move. He has tried a move 2 laps in a row now, and he's definitely going to be going for another move into the next lap.
I believe he's taking a bit easy for now because he's not going for that like late braking. He's taking it easy. Like he's braking early than Casey.
It could be the cars, like he could be running higher fuel. There are a lot of variables here, and it's not equal cars, right? The cars have different performance, so it could potentially the Bentley could be having better braking performance. But Tyagi definitely does look like he's being held back quite a bit by the Bentley ahead.
Yes.
I think there's a battle for P8 between P8 and 9.
Yep.
Okay.
Just having a thought of whether to send one or and thinks better of it and stays behind.
Jane does seem to have the advantage, and I have a feeling that Chatterjee is sticking with the slipstream at the moment because Jane is slowly pulling away. I think every lap.
I mean, I think we should go to the battle for third there, or maybe second at the top.
Yep.
Oh yes, battle is still on for that position.
Yeah, I think I did see that the position switched for a while. So I think Kote tried for a move on Tyagi, but which ultimately failed.
Yes, yeah, the gap is created there.
Yep.
You can see a gap forming.
Oh, and Tyagi is once again really close on on Casey, but he has been cutting a lot of corners, I feel, and I have a heavy feeling he is potentially running the risk of a penalty.
I think one of the places where Tyagi can catch up is in the corners because the McLaren is one of the more stable cars. So through the corners, I think it will definitely be faster than the Bentley.
Yep, but that's the issue right now. The Bentley seems to have the better braking and the better straight line at the moment.
So whenever Tyagi closes the gap on corners, Casey creates it on the
Yep,
straight.
and Casey has been doing some really good positioning as well. And
Yes,
we
for
see that
sure.
Dwaraknath got past Kuti.
Oh,
Oh, and Dwaraknath has to go.
run off.
He has to go to the chicane and concede that position back.
I believe it was a possible lockup there. He was not able to turn the car.
Yep,
Going
and
side by side.
we have a couple of people who have boxed at the moment. We have Tomala and Bharat who have boxed, and it does seem that the current cars, the leaders are beginning to lapping them.
Yes, I think Kaushik is already lapped by Ghost.
Does
That was a bit wide there.
Tyagi is getting impatient, I feel.
Yes.
Definitely wants to get past.
Yes. He can see Ghost creating that gap.
Yep. Among other things, it does seem that Jane has fallen back from P7 to P9, letting Chatterjee and Sathagre through to P7 and P8 respectively. So I suspect some incident has occurred. Perhaps.
Probably.
And you can see.
Now I think Ninja just passed the both of them.
Yep. He is now up to P7.
That's great showing from Ninja as well. Like he was literally last on the grid and now he's P7.
Yep. Potentially driver of the day, but we have half an hour to go left in the race.
Yes, for sure.
10 minutes over.
Okay. Oh, I think. Oh, Chatterjee tried for a move.
Oh, and he gets a
He's
move
gonna
done.
get it.
Gonna get it. And
I
Jay
think
is.
even Griffith is. Yeah.
Yeah, but it just seemed Sathak Ninja got a really good exit.
It's totally about who has more straight line speed now.
Yep. Jane has been Jane is spoiled for slipstream at the moment. Did you get the double overtake done? Nope. Thinks better of it.
Ooh.
Oh, and
Yeah, makes contact with the BMW and
it's forced to escape her. And Jane takes P7 back. So they're going 3 wide through the Curva Grande. Jane is the car ahead into the Variante della Roggia. This is exciting battle. This is an exciting battle. We don't know who will come out on top.
Yes,
And
it's probably like they're trading places.
Oh,
for
and
one.
Jane goes deep, but Chatterjee goes wide.
Yes. It's like they're trading places. For one time, Jan is in the front. For one, Ninja, and for one time, Chatterjee.
Yeah, it's quite strange. It's not like it's like whoever makes a least mistake is right now coming ahead out of every lap. It's not that any of them have gone for bold moves.
Yes.
And Sathakre, our very own Ninja, is definitely thinking of a move into the Ascari
He's
chicane.
trying for the Ascari.
Oh,
the
and
most difficult thing to make that.
there was a bit of contact. Because without dirty air, that's quite an easy move to make. Not easy, like much easier.
Thankfully, that resulted in a clean move instead of like a crash.
All this battling is now bringing some other folks into the race. We have Supreme Leader Aladdin, who has now closed on this pack, and Streeter is also not far behind.
there's a battle for P3 right now. You can just switch.
Tyagi has fallen back, so I believe he had an incident, potentially perhaps got too impatient and lost position to Kutti and Dwaraknath, and right now it's
Now Kuti and Dwaraknath are right on the gearbox of Casey right now.
quite a lot of ground to cover, but Audi is one of the aggressive cars into the corners, so they'll be making they'll be making the ground up through sector 2.
Just talking about Amit Kutti's livery, that way, oh,
You can see that how he mounted that curve and how that unsettled his car. Oh,
Oh,
that
man,
was really.
the,
Oh, thank God.
it's Nürburgring all over again.
yep,
That was fortunate that he didn't crash there, both of
yep,
them.
yep, yep. Both of them kept it in control. Tyagi
Yes,
seems to be struggling now. He's falling backwards. His car has damage. If you can see it,
yes. I think our spectators can see it because
yep,
there's some dents on the car at the
yep,
front.
his car definitely has damage. Sundar easily get past him. There's a minor bit of contact there. Ray still leading this train of P7.
Ghost has already created a gap of 17 seconds on KC.
Actually, that's with respect to Ray. The gap is actually 8
Oh,
seconds.
okay, okay.
Yep.
They're very respectable.
So Bharat, who was on pole, had, I think after that incident he decided to pit, and he's definitely going to be finishing the race on these tires. And it will be interesting to see where he comes out after the drivers ahead do pit.
I think we can see him. He's pushing a lot.
But at the moment he's having a lonely race, and so is Faizan and Freeman. But the Ferraris of Sidhu and Streeter are not too far back. They're definitely there or thereabouts of each other. But Supreme Leader Aladdin is definitely looking feisty, seeing the battle ahead unfold. I think this is
He
one of
would
his.
be hoping for some incidents
Yep.
from the drivers ahead so that he can get past them.
This is definitely one of his strongest showings so
He
far.
would be thinking like Vettel when he said, "You both crash out to the Mercedes driver and I go past you, guys."
Of course. Oh, he goes out for some rally. Ray has now pulled out a gap. He is definitely out of the slipstream of the drivers behind. And as we mentioned that, we have the father of Ghost who is cheering him on from the live chat on YouTube, and I hope that he is feeling really proud seeing his son in P1. Oh, as he's, yep,
Yes, for sure.
yep, he has quite a good lead to the driver behind Casey, although that gap has somewhat stabilized at around 8 seconds, but he is definitely gaining ever so slightly. Kuti in P3, but he did have that incident with Dwarkanath, and I suspect Tyagi as well, because we did see Tyagi had damage, so quite possibly he had an incident with both Dwarkanath and Tyagi, and it will be interesting to see how this pans out.
Yes, for sure.
Sundar in P5, but Tyagi has not fallen back as we suspected due to the damage. He is still on his tail.
I think the closest battle is going between Tyagi and Sundar. No, yes.
I believe this battle is right now the one to watch, with Chatterjee, Jane and Aladdin so close to each other, and Chatterjee once again jumps the Telarogya chicane.
Sundar and Tyagi
He's
are
getting
really
a
close
bit
to each other right now.
Sorry?
Yep.
I think Chatterjee is getting a bit under pressure from the drivers behind.
Yep, for sure. And he's of course driving this car for the first time in a race, so perhaps that is also playing away from his hands.
Yes.
And Tyagi is right now on the gearbox of Sundar. Will he go for a move into the
I
variant
think he'll wait for
Retrifodio?
the long straight.
Yep.
Okay. He got a little bit better exit than Anirudh. He'll try for the move now. I
It's
don't
just
think
too
Gap
far
closed.
back, I think.
Yep, he doesn't seem to be gaining anything on the straights, if I'm being honest.
Yes. I don't know if it's the car or it's the damage that's causing him
It's probably the car.
to stay behind.
Dwaraknath is the first one to pit. He is from the front runners right now. Perhaps he is trying to jump the cars ahead. We have Chatterjee, who has fallen onto P7, Ray, and Jane has also boxed. Quite an interesting thing to note. I wonder where Dwaraknath would come relative to Kapil.
I think
Kapil is nearly
Dwaraknath
30.
did join in front only because like the crash was at the start only.
Yeah, I'm pretty
So
sure Kapil would have had massive damage, which would have resulted in him having to make repairs.
yes.
But Dwaraknath has come out in clean air with 19 seconds of gap ahead of him, so he'll definitely be making the most best use of that.
Off where you mark. Keep pushing.
Oh, Ferrari loses car. That's quite unfortunate. That
Strater
place.
has also closed up to Supreme Leader Aladdin over here, and I wonder if he'll go for a move.
What's the time for a pit stop on this track?
I think it's generally 30 seconds, 30 to 40 seconds, depending on if it's just fuel. But if they do a tire change, the time does go up quite a lot. But they generally, the drivers don't change their tires; they just opt for a fresh load of fuel.
Yeah.
It's quite a lot different from current F1.
I mean, GT3 is
That was quite aggressive move from Streeter there.
yeah. I believe it was Supreme Red Aladdin like closing the door, so he did not leave sufficient space, and Streeter does go into the pits.
Yes, that was quite unfortunate for Aladdin.
Yeah, I do believe that. It's hard to say. The stewards will have a look at that. Chatterjee
Stewards got to work.
Chatterjee and Ray right now in P6 and P7. Given the fact that Jane has pitted, they would be pitting soon enough. And right now, Jane is coming behind Freeman. So it can work both ways, you know. Like the Bentley is a quick car, so he has a slipstream of Freeman to work with. But also he needs to get past.
Has Freeman pitted?
He has not so far. He has not so far. And
I think he'll wait, yes.
and
Jane is in a really good place right now because he has pitted and he is in
that's Freeman.
9th place.
Yep, he is in 9th place as Freeman breaks too deep and destroys those bollards, I believe.
It made him lose one place as well to Aditya Jain.
Yep, and we have Sathik Ray and Chatterjee. The gap is around 1.5 seconds.
But it seemed to be
And-
closing right now, I
Yep,
guess.
and Casey has boxed, and Kuti opts to stay ahead.
I
Gap
think
to
he
gap
will-
to P1 is around. Yep, gap to P1 is right now around 10 seconds for Kuti, but he would definitely be looking to make that ground up.
I think that was a good decision that he didn't pit, so he could like wouldn't be stuck behind Casey
Yep, for sure.
for this while.
Sathik Ray is also pitted, and Chatterjee opting to stay for stay longer.
Currently, Amit Kuti will try to create a gap, try to run the car in clean air so that he prevents that undercut from Casey.
Yep, Casey also comes out in clean air, but crucially quite a bit ahead of Dwaraknath and Tyagi. Tyagi does not seem to have fixed his car as he comes out of that pit lane with the wounded McLaren. Sundar has also not pitted, and we can see the gap to Sundar is around 40 seconds, so I think the pit window is around 40 seconds.
Yes.
Ray has boxed and in P8, and he is ahead of Jane. So it does seem that Jane did lose quite a lot of time behind Freeman.
I believe both
Talking
having
about Jane,
a
he's gonna Pick up one position, I believe.
I think he was ahead of the pack when he boxed, but now he has come out behind.
Yeah.
Couple sitting
I
in
think he was
P10.
in the points though.
He was in the points, but unfortunately, he was fighting with Ray and Chatterjee, and he has fallen behind. So I believe could be because they were of course
Good comeback from Kapil in P10 after getting taken after
Yep.
us having the spin on the first lap.
Yep. And I think something to note is that his tires he doesn't have the box till now, but his tires are not going to be in a good shape compared to the rest of the field. And how he does related to the drivers ahead is going to make or break his race.
Let's see how much positions can he manage to
Yep.
gain.
Among other things, Streeter with the top go penalty. He is now coming behind Faizan, and Faizan's car is not enjoying. I think it seems the driver is giving him some treatment.
The streeter takes it cautious.
Yeah. Oh my god.
I think Faizan got a really bad exit through Ascari.
Yep.
Streeter side by side. That's quite aggressive defending from Faizan. He places the car in the middle of the track
For
to
sure.
make it difficult for Streeter. Oh. Okay, Stewart's got work.
Yeah. It does seem to me like Streeter carried too much speed.
Yes,
And the
he
car
just the car was just running wide.
Yep. Couple right now in P10. Faizan yet to box.
I think I should give you guys a bit difficult task. Can you predict top 3?
If we can predict top 1, but it'll be difficult to judge top 2. Kuti is still staying out. I think it's been 2 laps since that point, and it'll be interesting to see what strategy he adopts, especially given that if KC is lapping quicker than him.
Dude,
tasty.
I think Sidhu is the lap.
I believe one of the Ferrari. I think there was a Ferrari that was once was about to enter Group B rally, and I think Sidhu is a big fan of that.
Oh, that's great. I think Amit will be boxing maybe this lap or next, I guess.
Probably. So if you can look at that bottom right, Kuti has been lapping at last lap was 50.5.
Yes.
While Casey's last lap was 51.3.
So I think he can still continue on those tires.
Yeah, I mean he could potentially get a pretty good overcut on Casey.
Yes. It's just a matter of time now because Amit will be pitting in next few laps, I guess.
Even Sundar has been lapping quicker than Casey at the moment. Oh, and we have Kaushik who has gone off track.
That's unfortunate. Currently,
okay, I'm not sure.
Ghost is in a race of his own. Okay.
Yep. 1 second.
Oh, I think there's some technical issues,
There is
guys.
some technical issue. Let's have a look.
Green light. Give me
Yep,
all you
we are
got.
back.
Stream is up.
And
Currently-
as Banerjee has boxed. Would be interesting to see where he does come out.
I think he will easily come out in front of the second guy. But the only thing is how much time he has there.
Yep, Kuti and Sundar still hasn't boxed. We're still running P1 at the moment.
I think what the net lead is with Ghost only because
KC does a
the
50.
gap.
Yep. KC does 50.6, Varaknath does a 50.8, and Kote is right now lapping at the 51. So, but they have been coming on traffic, so it's quite hard to say who's lapping quicker right now.
I think AC has adapted to this new tires or the different fuel load now.
Yep,
He'll
for
try
sure.
to push.
He seems to have gained on Ghost. I think when they boxed, the gap was 8.5, but now you can see the gap is 7.8.
Yes, Ghost is pushing now.
Yep, for sure.
So we have 10 minutes remaining. And still it's quite unpredictable. Apart from the leader.
Yeah, we do have quite a good battles coming. Ray has pulled out of the battle of the trio, and right now it's Chatterjee and Jane who are at the moment fighting.
I think the only drivers left to pit are Amit Kuti and Faizan.
Yep. Faizan generally does pit at the very end of the race, so I would he'll probably pit at the last lap.
I think he tries to go for the fastest lap in the end.
I don't think he's capable of doing the fast lap, I'm being honest. Given that he has been 5 seconds slower, I believe, than the leaders.
Whoa. Let's see.
Yep.
I think-
Jane is definitely looking very racy behind Chatterjee.
Oh. Did he go for a move there?
I think Chatterjee tried to break deep and ended up conceding the position. I think we have seen Chatterjee like come ahead of the. We've seen him like be ahead of the two cars, but what we see a lot of times is that Chatterjee seems to fail. He seems to fail to like hold that position, makes mistakes when he's ahead.
Yes, I believe it's probably the. I think it's not the car, it's the pressure, like when the driver behind pressurizes him.
Yep, and right now he's facing a lot of pressure from Kapil Bharat.
Yes. Kapil jumps to 9th after. I think it was Aladdin who pitted.
Yeah, if you remember, Aladdin did have that incident with Strata,
Yes.
which of course cost him a lot of time. And
Yes.
and Slater is also not having a good race because he got a stop go penalty. And as Kapil and Chatterjee go side by side, but Kapil is ahead, but Chatterjee tucks back into the slipstream. He'll go for a move.
Okay.
Oh, and Kapil turns in on Chatterjee.
I think it was quite late from Chatterjee as well because he was already behind. And
Yes.
that was a bit unexpected from.
They were side by side, is what I would say. And I think Kapil was not entitled to his racing line there.
Yes, he tried to defend that position, but he was not aware that he was running side by side.
Yeah, I mean, Chatterjee was still more than halfway within the AMG.
Yes.
Oh my
Oh.
god.
We-
What was that?
That was a 360 degree.
Yeah, I mean, where am I? In Monza or in a festival? Like, not sure. We're definitely catching a lot of feisty incidents on stream.
Yes. But that was unfortunate for Adin. Like he recently pitted to make further repairs and again got into that.
Yep, and
Crash.
he's once again going for a move on Faizan. Not sure if you want to go side by side with them.
Oh. What was that?
I have never seen worse racing, if I'm being honest. I mean, he should be banned. If I'm being serious.
Not good.
Like, he should be banned. Like, that was the most appalling piece of racing. Like, I've been in sim racing for 2 years so far, and that was the most appalling piece of racing I've ever seen. And not to
Yeah,
mention
not
this guy.
happy with
Not to
that.
mention this guy's a racist. So I don't think he should even be here.
I think it's better for Faizan to box now.
He should leave the race. He's spoiling the race for like people who are actually serious about this.
So I think we should go on to top.
Yep, and Bharat has now dispatched Chatterjee and is now closing in on Jain.
Yes, that was a really good recovery drive from Kapil. He's like, I think he literally pushed the car to the limits from the start of the race after crashing.
Yeah, he is making ground, but I think if you're being realistic, he has a genuine shot at P6. P7 actually, but outside is a chance of P6 because we have 5 minutes left for the race and he has around 7 seconds, around 1.5 seconds to make up every lap.
Yes.
Sundar also seems to have lost a lot of gap to the leaders he was fighting with Kuti and Banerjee, and that gap seems to have closed up. Kuti now 6 seconds of ghost ahead.
Oh, I didn't see that when the Amit Kuti pitted.
I think he pitted
He
I think he pitted a lap after Banerjee, and he has actually come out ahead of Casey.
Yes, he managed that overcut quite well.
Yep.
1.6 seconds ahead of Casey.
If you look at the times, you can see that Kuti makes up around a second or a tenth or two to three tenths through the corners, but Banerjee seems to be pulling away on the straights.
Yes.
If you look at the timing screens, of course.
I believe Ghost is taking it a bit more like cautious now. He's not pushing it that much.
He
I don't
doesn't
think so,
need to because he has a straight line speed. The moment.
Yes, that's for sure.
Yep.
Like sometimes he's just like he's doing. I think he's doing like a push lap and a normal lap.
Potentially.
Yes,
So
because sometimes we can see the gap increasing and sometimes like reducing.
So as they cross the line, we can see the lap times they do set. Banerjee with a 50.6, and now as Kuti comes over the line. Oh, I think he just boxed in the last lap, so that's why you're 2025. And Casey is right now at 51.115, so around 6 tenths slower than Banerjee right now.
I think it's pretty much set up for top 3. I'm not I'm not sure if there will be any overtakes now.
I think Dwaraknath can challenge Casey. I think he did box a bit later than Casey, and he would have that tire advantage ever so slightly. He is lapping 3 tenths quicker than Casey, so I think.
But I think seeing the time left, it's like a bit difficult until and unless the driver in front makes a mistake.
Yep, for sure. And the Bentley is supreme. Straight line speed is definitely lending.
Yes, for sure. We have, I think, Ghost increased around a second on Amit, the previous lap.
Yep.
That was a really supreme drive from Ghost.
Yep.
No jinx, but yeah, that was a real supreme drive.
He has 3 minutes left. He can chill and just like have a chill drive around. He can have a chill drive around Monza at this point. In the background, Kapil did dispatch Jain, and he is very quickly closing up on Ray.
We already closed at 3 seconds, I guess.
Yeah, and that was with 6 minutes to go. But once again, the big ask to cover 4 seconds.
Yes.
Let's see how
because Sarthak Ray is also not. No, he's literally pushing.
Let's see how much time he gains through the Skari chicane. Not much, really. Keeps
I
on
think
pace.
that was a real good exit.
He gained
took
around.
really good lines there.
He gained around 5 tenths through Ascari.
Oh, just through one chicane, 5 tenths is a really much huge time in the world of racing.
Yep, for sure.
It's 3.2, almost he closed a second last lap to Sarthak Ray. So, who you gonna vote for driver of the day today? Who do you think deserves driver of the day?
I'm going to say
There's a lot of drivers. for that.
I'm gonna go with Ray because he didn't decide a lap in qualifying or invalidate all of his laps. Then climbs back from P20 to P6 at the moment. Even if he finished behind Kapil, that's still a lot of positions gained, and he stayed out of trouble in a track where it can be quite contentious. That's really impressive, and I would have loved to give it to our champion Ghost, but like as as some people say with Hamilton, he did go unchallenged today, and of course he is the driver of the season for me, but not the driver of the day.
For me, like, I cannot literally, what do we call it?
Leaders on the final lap. Can we go ACC?
Selection is very bad.
We have 25 seconds left for the clock, and
It will
Banerjee- so
probably
this-
the final lap for
yep,
Ghost.
this will be the final lap, and I think Bharat is now quickly approaching Ray, and
One more second on the previous lap.
yeah, and it's going to be interesting if he manages to make the move.
Yes, it's
And-
now interesting. Last lap, 2 seconds to
And
close.
right behind him, we have Jane and Sundar also going for a move. It's definitely going to be interesting. Sundar right on the gearbox. Both are in Audis. Oh, and Sundar goes wide. Not what you want to do there.
I think Casey overtook Amit.
Yeah, it does seem
If
like
we
that.
can-
Yep,
Oh,
it does seem like.
that's 1-2 for Bentley.
What is happening? I am confused.
I think Amit is making mistakes right now.
Yeah, quite potentially.
Yes, but that's a really strong drive from Casey. He waited for Amit to make a mistake. I don't know what happened there, like, and
Yeah.
just pulled out that move
Bentley
for the
1-2.
second. Yes. Bentley
Yeah,
would be really happy for both of the drivers.
Lot of battles happening right now. We have Tyagi going into the second Lesmo. Ooh, and Tyagi gets ahead. Dwaraknath. A really wonderful
That-
drive. Yep. We saw the McLaren struggle to get past Casey, but he definitely got past the German car there.
I think Tyagi didn't even repaired his car in the pits.
It does seem so. Good.
Yes, it seemed a bit different.
Yep. And Kuti right now on the gearbox of Casey.
So we have the winner.
Yep.
It's Ghost.
Yep, he finishes P1 and returns the pits. But we have quite a lot of battles right now. Bharat, will he make the move into Parabolica? Will
he go for it?
Will Ninja be able to? Will Ninja be able to defend the position?
Okay. Ninja already went to the inside to defend that dive bomb.
There was a bit of
Oh!
there was a bit of contact there. And
Final
Bharat-
move on the final corner.
Yep,
Take
and-
that P6.
as we see the Italian green as they exit out of Parabolica.
That was a really strong drive from both of the drivers, both Kapil and Sarthak Ray.
Yep.
I think everyone has almost crossed the line.
Yep, Chatterjee comes out in P10 with the final point scoring position. Faizan has already finished his race. Chatterjee won off the line.
Ferraris. Okay, there is a Ferrari top 10. That's nice.
You're a sucker for Ferrari, Tanish. Okay. Supreme Aladdin, he was having such a good race. But unfortunately got into some incidents and finished out of the points. He would definitely
that was
have.
quite unfortunate for
Yep,
him.
he would
was
definitely.
driving really well.
He was driving astonishingly well. I feel quite sorry for him. Hopefully next season he can make amends and show what he's worth. And he does finish P10. Oh, actually, everything has gotten jumbled up right now.
I
And
think we should go through the grid now. The
yep,
final
yep, and we have the IRC inaugural season champion Banerjee in P1. We have Casey in P2, and we have lost the grid.
Whoa.
And I believe Kuti was P3, right? Yeah. So congrats to the podium finishers.
That was a real great race. Like they made the final race of the season so special. Like the number of overtakes, the battles on track.
Yep.
Sometimes crashes are fun to watch as well.
For sure. Let me see if we can bring the podium finishers into the race. Okay, we have Ghost here. I can't seem to do the race lobby. Let me see if I can bring in Casey. Can't seem to find Amit. Alright. Hello? Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Alright. Oh damn. Alright, Tanish, if you want, we can start with the podium interviews.
Okay, so now we are joined by the leader, Ghost. Ghost, I would leave it to you. You want to speak something first?
It was a brilliant race, brilliant qualifying by Kapil. I mean, at the last moment, he took first position by 0.2 of a second, which was awesome. And at the start, Kapil and I had a contact, but in my defense, I was maintaining my line as close to the grass as possible, but Kapil just cut into me during the braking zone. I mean, according to that, I have to see the replays again. But
Yeah,
that
it is.
happened. After that, it's just numb.
Yeah, I think it was quite a lonely race for you up front.
How much you are satisfied with your race?
Pretty okay, satisfied, but not the second stint. Second stint, I was losing a lot of time, like second or two every lap. I was making some mistakes, but the first stint was really nice before the pit stop. Except the last few laps was pretty okay. Happy.
Yep. That was a brilliant race from you, and I believe this is you're, and of course you're the champion of the inaugural IRC season, and I'm pretty sure you are completely excited for the second season at this point. I mean, like
Oh yes.
yeah,
Oh, yes.
Congratulations for the championship, Ghost. That
Yep.
was a real
Thank you,
supreme
thank
drive
you.
from you.
Yep, for sure.
Thank you.
Casey,
Yes.
second boy, how was that?
Oh yeah. Oh my god, it was
How did you
amazing.
pull out that? How did you
Um,
overtake? What was your overtake on Amit?
well, first of all, the qualifying position was really important, and I put everything in my lap. There was still two or maybe 1/10 away. 1/10 still left on that lap of quali, but I think I was still happy with where I was starting. Then after Kapil's death, I think it was it was 1-2 for us, which was quite nice. And then Tyagi, I think, started closing in, and I don't know. I somehow came out in P2, which is I'm really happy with that. I This is my first podium in the ACC, so I'm really happy.
Yep, congrats. You seem to have you seem to have made a really good step forward. I think
Oh yeah, I did.
ever since you started preparing for the RCA race, and
Oh yeah, yeah. RCI has helped me a lot participating in the ACC races. They like, I think, yeah, that gives me a lot of practice.
yep,
And I think that's why I was able to
yep, and for sure
do well.
you have a lot of momentum coming out of the first season, and I can't wait to see you in season 2.
Oh my God, this is the season finish I wanted, and I got it, and I couldn't be happier.
Yep, and
You can have a really good sleep tonight.
Where's the champagne?
I think you should go.
Virtual champagne.
I think you should go to
Oh,
D-Mart and get some champagne.
by the way, me and Ghost racing in Bentley, I think we have won the constructors as well. So
Yep.
it's
I mean, there is nothing called the constructors since
yeah.
the
I mean,
wild
come on,
card, but
let's get come on.
Yeah, if you look at collective points, yeah, sure. By one car.
Yeah, Team Bentley, yeah, wins.
Yep.
Casey, tell
Yeah.
me, how much did you enjoy the battle with Anirudh, Amit, Tyagi?
Oh my God, I can't.
You almost battered the entire top six,
Yeah,
apart from
dude.
goal.
I tried to keep it fair, but I don't know. Maybe I think like Tyagi might not be happy. I'm not sure what I did wrong. I may have to check my footage again. But I did everything I could to keep ahead, and try to keep it fair.
But that was a great racing from you guys. I
Thanks a lot.
literally enjoyed it. I believe our audience must have enjoyed it as well.
Yep. I think it will be interesting if you could get a QF people in. Let's get Kapil, who is of course one
Oh
of the
yeah.
founder.
Yes,
Yep. Let's
Yes,
get
sure.
let's get Kapil in as
Where's
well.
the trophy though? Like we deserve some trophy, you know.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Ah,
Ah,
Kapil, where is the trophy?
there he comes.
what is trophy? No, okay. Hello.
we have
We
a
will
super driver. Yeah. Great
eh,
recovery drive from you, Kapil.
oh, thank you. Thank you. It was
After that
absolutely.
incident, keeping that calm, getting back places requires
Yeah, well, I
real
had the car.
calmness.
Car did most of the work, and I was just in for the ride, just listening to the sound, just the roaring waves.
Yeah, I think you must have been quite happy seeing the car stay at pit and get some company.
Yep.
Yep. I think we should have like had a session where like we could have gotten some of the people who made the league start. We could have had a joint commentary for the last race.
Well, that is a suggestion for the next season. Let's
Yep,
see what we.
for sure. But like it's been a very exciting season so far, and I think all the races where I've streamed has been quite interesting to watch, I would say. And of course, we also had Propi who helped with the streams, and we had a lot of people who took the initiative to start this season. And I mean, we are
A very
grow.
strong, a very
Yep.
strong finish at the end.
Yep.
17 drivers at the last race, starting with around 12 or 13 in the first race. So numbers did grow, and we kept it alive throughout the season. So big kudos to all the drivers who stayed and enjoyed. It was a very, very successful first season. All thanks to our ACC coordinators, Ghost, Babaji, and Anirudh. None of this would have
And
been.
yourself.
Yeah, I can't take all applause, but thank you.
Some modesty.
And of course, our boys in the back end, Kalpesh Chaudhary and Freeman, for setting up the servers so diligently throughout the season with no hiccups. So yeah, thank you so much for tuning in. It has been great having you on board the first season of IRC ACC. We'll be back maybe in a month's time for season 2. Big changes in the roster, in the settings, and a lot more exciting tracks coming your way. So yeah, stay tuned for that.
Yep. And you heard our ACC admin. Can I say, couple? Speak there. All right, and that's it, folks. And I hope you guys had a very entertaining season. And good night. It's nearly 10 o'clock, and I hope you guys have a good night's sleep. Signing off.